What's up, guys? My name is Red. Y'all just watched a quick little snippet of a video that I'm working on. I had the opportunity to film and direct a really cool YouTube video. And the beginning of this YouTube video, we filmed a super cinematic pistol sequence, which I thought was really neat. And I wanted to kind of take a break from this project and make a video for you guys, just kind of talking about my process, my editing process, my color grading process. And the main thing that I wanted to hit on was how to use natural light as your advantage. I don't see a lot of people giving tutorials like that these days. And I kind of just wanted to break down my whole process, kind of my thought process, what gear I used, how I went about the shoot, and just kind of make a video explaining all that. So we're gonna dive right in here. On my computer, you can kind of see a few frames we have, but I wanted to start off talking about the gear I use. So for this video specifically, I shot the entire video on a Sony a7S III, paired with a Sigma 24-70, the aperture being 2.8. As you can see from this screenshot, I mounted a GoPro on top of my top handle. So for this shoot specifically, I wanted to use a matte box. Two reasons being that. One, a few shots, we were shooting at sunrise, so I wanted to get the sun flares off the shot a little bit, which obviously the matte box helps with that. That's the main purpose. Secondly, I'm running the small rig matte box, which has the super nice ND filters that come with it. So for this shoot specifically, I took off my variable ND/CPL, which if any of you big guys know, that will add a small vignette around your image, which I did not want. You can always add that in post. So I went with the matte box for this time. It's super nice. The small rig, actually with this one, I had a CPL on it, but then I had a I think it was ND3, ND4 I was running, which was super nice, just to kind of tone down the shots a little bit. So that's my camera gear. Now I'm gonna talk about a little bit of the lighting process, how I went about it, and a little bit of the color grading. So as you can see in these 4 shots, these stills are beautiful. I'm super happy of how they turned out. We shot everything at sunrise, which was a super early morning. The whole team was tired afterwards. But so in this first top shot, this is just a little reference I was using. As you can see in all of these shots, the lighting is coming from the front left side of the subject. So in this first shot, see we have all the lighting coming in from this way, right? And you can see in all these shots, we have the lighting coming in from the front and then left side of the subject. So in this bottom shot, for instance, lighting coming from this way. As in this top right shot of him shooting above us. See, the lighting is coming mainly from that way. Some of it's coming from the bottom left. And then for this bottom shot, sunlight is coming right here. Little bit is reflecting off the pistol and then coming onto the left side of his face. And this was all on purpose. I came in with the vision that I wanted most of these shots of him as a silhouette. We weren't really focusing on the subject. We were mainly focusing on the pistol. So each one of these shots, it was a very beautiful morning. The lighting was just coming up across the mountain, as you can see in this shot. As you can see right here, we have the sun coming over the mountains right over here. And then we also do have some lens flare right over here, which I think honestly adds some depth, which I really like. And so yeah, this whole time we were filming this sequence, I was always moving my subject Mike. I was always moving Mike in the direction of having that sunlight coming in from the top left or the front left of him. Mainly because I wanted his back to be more of a silhouette. I wanted just a little bit of light on his face, as you can see right in here. Just a little bit of light, but the gun is always lit up. So as you can see, like on this bottom right shot, you can see that I have the sun coming in from right here. And that's giving this really cool little glow almost look around the pistol. His face, you can see, is lit right here. More of a harsh lighting shot, honestly. That was kind of our last shot we used, so his face is a little bit more lit up. But you can see, look, it has a silhouette in the back. Your face, your eye is not going to the face. Your eye is going to the pistol, which I think is really nice. And that is one way I quickly saw that we were going to use natural light, that it was going to turn out cool. So now jumping back into Premiere Pro, I'm going to give y'all a quick rundown on how I color graded this sequence for anybody that's interested. Obviously, I kind of walked y'all through the lighting process, which was really cool. So I always color grade, again, S-Log3, Sony a7S III, always shooting S-Log3. We're going to start with, this was how the image came out. straight from the camera, which is very beautiful. I usually edit with 2 adjustment layers, maybe 3, just depending on what I'm doing and how in depth I want to go. But for this specific shoot, this bottom adjustment layer was just warming up some of my highlights. But we're going to start right here. I converted this footage to S-Log3. I did some minor adjustments right here in the basic correction. All of this color grade is mainly going to be dealt in your curves. Guys, always edit with the color curves. So this first one, crushed the whites a little bit on the top right, and then on the bottom left, I brought up the blacks a little bit to give it that softer look, and then I crushed them right here. And then kind of messed with, the exposure curve right there. On the reds, again, kind of just eyeing it, figuring out what I liked. I wanted to go for more of like a Mexico look, if that makes sense, dramatic. With the greens, not really any different, just kind of adjusting. The blues, I kind of brought down the blues up top of the highlights a little bit because I wanted these highlights or the midtones back there to be a little bit more bluish, or a little bit more, I wanted these blues to be just a little bit more warm. That kind of walks you through the curves. Now going down into like the hue saturation. Again, this is all kind of how you want to build your image. I did not want a lot of saturation in the yellows. I brought more of the blues up. In the hue, I wanted to change more of these greens. As you can see, these greens, to change that to yellow, because I only wanted a couple colors in this whole image. I did use a LUT. Thank you, Johnny Rome's LUT number 7. And this just kind of adds just a little bit of sauce, as you can see, which could easily be done in the curves. This is honestly, it's at 65%. I did up the vibrance, sharpened it a little. And then as you can see, this bottom layer, adjusts the highlights and just makes it a little bit more warm. So that kind of walks you through my color grading process. Not too in-depth. I didn't want to go too crazy. It was mainly just a quick little grade. As a bonus, to wrap things up, I wanted to just walk through a couple different shots that I used, a couple different thought processes I have. Mike, my buddy, gave me complete creative freedom on how I wanted to run this shoot. I've always been interested in like filming gun videos, and I think this shoot definitely excited me, which was really cool. I came in with the vision, fast pace. I wanted some locked shots where the camera isn't moving, the subject is moving, which is really cool. Kind of like Wes Anderson style. So if we look at this timeline here, we obviously have some moving shots. We have him drawing the pistol and shooting. We have some locked, this was just a locked shot above him, which kind of just adds some depth. And then to counteract that, I actually have BT. And then to counteract that, I got a really low shot of him and he was actually shooting above me, which was kind of scary. As you can see, super sick. This was also a locked shot. I wanted him as a silhouette to the left. You have the targets. I locked focus on him because he's moving so quickly, guys. Most of these shots, I would have him, let's see if I can pull it up. I would have him pull out to where he was going to shoot. I would lock focus manually. I'd keep the camera still. Everything was shot at aperture 2.8. And then that way, the autofocus wasn't switching back and forth because the Sony autofocus is really good, but I didn't want it switching back and forth. So in this shot right here, I locked focus on where he was going to be on the pistol. And then going back to this shot again, locked focus right where he was going to be. He was moving so quickly, I didn't want the Sony autofocus to kind of go crazy. This is a beautiful image. I'm super happy with this shot. You got the mountains, you got the sun coming up over these mountains in the background. You have him shooting, which is so awesome. You got these targets. You're low in the grass. It's so awesome. I would definitely recommend using just stable shots. And then to counteract that again, wanted some action. So here's him just shooting, little shooting sequence. Again, I didn't lock focus on this one. I had it focused in the center, and then the whole time I'm just tracking that gun, which was pretty cool. And then this last shot I will show you guys is just him. He's doing another draw. And then this one, I wanted to start on his face, facial expression, move to pistol, have the sun in the background right above his hand. Because like, if you can see, it does, you have some like halation around his hand, which is really cool. That kind of wraps up the video. If you guys have any questions or want to see any more videos like this, drop some questions in the comments. If you have anything you want to learn, I'd love to keep making these tutorial videos. Again, I don't know everything. I consider myself still pretty a beginner. Um, I love working on these types of projects. I love teaching people about videography. So if you guys want to see more videos like these, definitely drop a comment below. And I hope to see you guys on the next one. Thanks.